I'm Harrison Graham.
And I'm Chase Sr. We just launched a new show here at Chat Sports. We'll be going live every single Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific.
So subscribe and join us every single week here on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. This video you're about to watch aired from that live show, so sit back and enjoy. It's live Q&A time here on our brand new show, Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. And this is really simple. We're two dudes that like sports and like drinking beer. Ask us questions and we'll answer them. It's as simple as that.
Always down to chop it up.
Hey, we're chopping it up, sports or otherwise. So go ahead and get those questions in right now. Better Bob kicking things off. Is this Vulgaris? #chat. Name an NFL team that could go from first to worst in their division. This is a good one.
I got one for you, and it's because of all of the unfortunate injury issues that have popped up over the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure I've seen a team and an organization get ravaged by injuries in such a short amount of time like the Baltimore Ravens had.
It's been rough.
J.K. Dobbins, and then today as we record this during our live show on Thursday, looks as though Gus Edwards, who is going to be his replacement, is going down potentially with a torn ACL. Marcus Peters may have torn his ACL as well. At the very least, seems as though he suffered an injury during practice on Thursday leading up to that Monday Night Football matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think the Ravens are a team that could go from competing for the top of the AFC North last year to falling to last place. I know they didn't win the AFC North last year, but so many people expect them to be Super Bowl contenders, and I think they could finish last in their division potentially.
If Cincinnati takes a step, Lamar Jackson, 31-8 as a starter. We'll see if he has something to say about that. A potential take is that's a tough division. SM here, #chat. What week will Justin Fields take over?
Take this one, my man.
You know,
host of Chicago Bears now here on Chat Sports.
The trendy game is Week 4 against Detroit because the Lions stink, and it's at home, bad defense. You can get him in there against a team that's not very good. I have no problem playing him Week 1, but that's not going to happen. I think that it's as simple as when they don't feel like Andy Dalton is getting the job done, you make the change. And honestly, you probably should have gone with Fields from the beginning. I think there was a promise made from Matt Nagy to Andy Dalton when they signed him, and so they're giving him that opportunity.
We're giving you $10 million this year, and we guarantee you're going to be our starter. To start the season at least.
And he is.
Also, they didn't have Justin Fields at that time.
O-line, exactly. O-line question marks. You're playing Aaron Donald in Week 1. Hey, let's see what happens if he falls on his face. Maybe Fields starts Week 2 against Cincinnati. That's also a team that you can score some points on. I think at the latest, Week 6. I think he will be the starting quarterback by Week 6 in the NFL season. Scuba Steve with the super chat. Cheers, my man.
Cheers,
$5 equals a drink of beer. I'll drink mine in a second. How does someone apply for a Chat Sports career opportunity? I'll tell you what. We don't have his Twitter handle on screen. @James Yoder on Twitter. He might get pissed at me for this, but you know what?
Slide in his DMs.
Slide in the DMs. I'm pretty sure they're open. @James Yoder on Twitter and be like, hey, man, I'm interested. And can't make any promises, but he's the boss man here. So
it's fun to work here. That's for damn sure.
It is. We drink beer and we talk sports. So it's an absolutely fantastic job. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Nick Fury here, #chat. Make sure you guys are using that to get your questions in. What's your Seahawks season win-loss prediction? Then what is your ceiling win-loss and floor win-loss? Without looking at the schedule in front of me, I'll go 11-6 for Seattle. I think the ceiling is probably 12-13. The floor is probably like 8-9. This is just they have some question marks, but they have for years, and Russell Wilson is able to overcome them. I think this is a 10-11 win team.
Everybody loves to focus on how the Seahawks went out in the first round of the playoffs, how they really didn't play well in the final month or two of the regular season, which was true because that offense fell off a cliff, and after they were pass happy and had success with Russell Wilson, who was having an MVP campaign throughout the first month or two of the season, they decided to revert back to running the football, and that's why you saw a change at the offensive coordinator spot with Shane Waldron now being the OC there. I think the Seahawks, who were 12-4 last year, are still going to be able to win 10 to 12 games. Here's the issue, though. I think it really comes down to injuries in the NFC West because that division is an absolute gauntlet. You have the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. All three teams wouldn't surprise me
Cardinals
if they made it to the
too.
Super Bowls. The Cardinals last year finished 8-8 and were a surprise team. I do think they're the worst team in the NFC West this year. So it could come down to a simple thing of just who is healthiest out of that division. And the Seahawks could win 10 to 12 games and still not win the NFC West. But I think with Russell Wilson at the helm, 10 to 12 wins is where I'm pegging them in at.
Fans back in the stadiums will help Seattle because that is one of the toughest road environments in the NFL. If you love the NFL, type me in the comments. Hey, week 1 is here. It's fantastic. If you love the NFL as much as Chase and I do, make sure you're spamming me down in the comments section. We would greatly appreciate it. Let's shift over to NBA, by the way, because this is an Ask Me Anything mailbag. #chat. Do you think Meyers Leonard will ever get a second chance in the NBA? I'll tell you what, man. I think sometimes, and I got to be careful here, I think sometimes we go too far in trying to bury someone for making a mistake.
Yeah.
This is a pretty big one, though, and it's not a great one, and he already did not have a great track record. If you don't know the story, just Google it. We're not going to dissect what he said here.
Anti-Semitic comments on Twitch is basically what he did.
You just got to know better. You're live on Twitch. It would be like us live on YouTube saying something like that. If I did that, I'd probably never do another show. Look, I mean, that's just the reality.
You got to know your place when you're a bench player, I'm not a Harrison Graham. I'm not a Chase Senior. I can't say certain things.
That's producer Jeremy. It's a good point, though. If Tom Brady says that, he's probably still has a job. But if Blaine Gabbert says it, he doesn't have a job.
Here's the thing. Will Meyers Leonard get a second chance in the NBA? I think the answer to that could be no, but it's because he's a scrub and he's not that good of a player, and he was getting way overpaid last year, in addition to the baggage that he now has with saying what he said on that Twitch live stream. Let me say this, too, about this whole situation. I am anti-cancel culture. I think everybody deserves a second chance. I don't think anybody should be taken down and fired from their respective jobs because of a comment that they made on social media when they were frickin' 14, 15 years old. That stuff really bothers me. But if you're an NBA player
a grown man.
Live on Twitch, you're making millions of dollars. First of all, you're making millions. You shouldn't be playing
video games. Let me add this.
You're
playing in the most...
And also, you're on a Twitch live stream making a comment like that. You're just stupid.
And you're playing in the most diverse professional sports league in the world. You're just an idiot, and I don't feel bad for you if you don't get an
Can we cancel culture?
I would love to. But for Meyers Leonard, it's like, how are you such a dope?
Hey, man. You know what I always say? Actions have consequences, and that was certainly a bad action from him. We'll shift forward here. Bullet Doggy Aaron. Thoughts on the Golden State Warriors? We'll stay with the NBA here. I think we both wanted them to try to make a splashing move, trade their draft picks, try and go get a Bradley Beal or something, but that move didn't seem to be out there. It really didn't.
They didn't want to part with their two high lottery picks at 7 and 14. And I think what the thought process was from Bob Myers and the rest of this organization was, okay, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all probably on the back 9 of their careers, right? So we need a bridge from that big three to the next generation. And if we get the Jonathan Kuminga pick right and he develops fast, and we get the Moses Moody pick right, we still have guys like Jordan Poole. We can compete right now for NBA titles, or at least a Western Conference crown, while also bridging into the future. So I think with the healthy Klay Thompson, Golden State could finish top 5 in the West, and that's not a slight on the Warriors. That's just goes to show how loaded the Western Conference is going to be this year.
You basketball fans, let us know what your favorite team is down in the comments. We'll go to Alberto next here. If they redid this year's NFL draft as we shift back to football here, do you think the Niners would still take Lance or go with Fields? I still think they'd take Lance. We haven't even seen a game yet, right?
I think you also add Mac Jones into the equation as well now that he's become the Week 1 starter for the New England Patriots. Look, we knew that Trey Lance was going to be raw. if you're surprised that he doesn't look ready to play right now, then you're just flat out uninformed. He was 20 years old when he got drafted out of North Dakota State. He played one game last year in a COVID-shortened season. He played one full season of FCS football, and throughout his entire collegiate career, he attempted only a little bit more than 300 passes. The athleticism is there. The mental acumen is there. The character is there. I think his dual threat ability could take Kyle Shanahan's offense to the next level. The Niners, as an organization, are in the best spot possible because if Trey Lance isn't ready to play, which he's not, you don't have to play him. You can go with Jimmy Garoppolo, who helped lead you to the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yep.
And then once Trey Lance is ready to go, that's when you play him, kind of like a Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith approach.
I will say this: Fields going at 11 is an absolute joke.
Oh, it's a steal.
It's one of the
Great value.
weirdest things ever. How these weird stories of he's not a good teammate. All this stuff started circulating before the draft. It's very bizarre. Should have been a top 5 pick, but I still think the Niners would have taken Lance. One more on this mailbag. If you're watching live, we'll answer some more questions later. SM: which rookie quarterback will have the better season, Lawrence or Wilson? This might surprise you. I'm going to go Zach Wilson. Do not be surprised if Trevor Lawrence, his rookie year, looks like the worst of the rookies. I'm not saying the Jets are in a good situation because they're not, but the Jags are disastrous.
Yeah.
This might be the worst roster outside of the Texans in the NFL. It's bad.
It's pretty bad, and the Jets are bereft of talent as well, especially in the secondary, where
The receivers
they don't have any premier players.
I kind of like their skill talent, though, for Wilson. The O-line's
okay.
a little better. Becton at left tackle. The Jags O-line, man.
The only reason why I go against you is because Zach Wilson is in a much better division against
That's a
much
fair
better
point.
coaches, and Bill Belichick, Sean McDermott, and Brian Flores. So that's the only reason why I'll go against that and say Trevor Lawrence.
Appreciate all the questions and subscribe if you haven't already.